Hey everybody, it's Erica Zazo. I am the chapter lead here at Mappy Hour Chicago. Super excited to have you joining the live stream today. I'm really excited about today's surf event. I'm a Michigander and I'm really excited to bring on Ella and Annabel. They are two surfers based out of northern Michigan in Empire. Their family owns a surf store called Sleeping Bear Surf and Kayak, and they're here to talk about surf safety, what it's like to grow up in the Midwest and surf in the Great Lakes, and also about the environmentalism work they're doing in the Great Lakes region to protect our waters. So without further ado, Ella and Annabel.
Oh, I am Annabel. I'm the youngest of three siblings from the Skrocki family, and we kind of all got into surfing because of our super rad parents. They loved northern Michigan and all water activities, all human-powered water activities. So they would go out on the lake on their windsurfers and kayaks and paddle around the lakes and just appreciate it all, and wanted to share their appreciation and have other people appreciate the water as much as they do. And so they opened up Sleeping Bear Surf and Kayak when I was 4 and Ella was 8. And yeah, and that's pretty much when we kind of started to learn how to surf and appreciate the water. And yeah.
We get people from all over the state, or tourists visiting from across the country. I've had the honor of teaching people from outside of the country as well. We really pride ourselves in lessons, and typically it's just like a thing to like check off the bucket list. Like most people go to Hawaii to learn to surf, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna come from California, learn to surf in Michigan. Like that's gonna really screw with all of my friends' heads. And it makes it just like that much more fun of an experience. Most of the time, it is pancake flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
And that's when our arm workouts really come in, because we are basically the wave for these people.
So Annabel, what about the female surf community up in Michigan and in the Great Lakes? Are there a lot of other female surfers out there on the water with you all? And is there even like a, subculture to the female surf community in Michigan and elsewhere?
Yeah, I think in our area, at least, it's mainly just Ella and I that are out there. There's been a couple more in recent years. There's been a couple more ladies that are coming out, and it's like the best thing ever to see another female out on the water, because we're always surrounded by men. And yeah,
talk about the different seasons of surfing in the Great Lakes. When are you getting out there, and when do the big waves come, and how does the season differ for surfing experience?
Yeah, so Great Lake surfing is a year-round sport, as long as we don't get a full ice over. With Great Lake surfing, for those not familiar, we typically want colder air on top of warmer water. So springtime doesn't necessarily mean the recipe for waves, because that water is warming up from the winter of heavy ice cover. But, once the summer season starts to warm up and the water starts to warm up, July, August is like some of my favorite surf months, because it's absolutely dreamy warm most of the time, unless the lake flips, which is totally possible mid-July. But fall is definitely the most consistent. So that's oh my gosh, it is so hard to pick a favorite season.
Yeah.
I had a really epic
in July. Kind of, it's pretty much fall here in northern Michigan. Like in July, it's still pretty summer, but in August, it starts to get chilly, and it's pretty much fall.
But you do get out there like in the winter time, right? Like you hear storms coming.
The other day.
I was actually just going to say, I honest to goodness think winter is my favorite time to surf, because I went in just a couple days ago, and you got a little bit of ice in the water, but the sky is just so crisp and clear. The water is clear because all of the sediment is like settled, and I don't really understand the science behind it necessarily. But typically we have a lot cleaner surf as well, dependent, because the storm cells that we get in are typically like really heavy wind and super low pressure systems. So the lower pressure, the easier it is to create waves. And so, the other day when we went out, it was like you suit up and you have to like go through the mental preparation to like get really psyched and warm yourself up to paddle out into the ice or into the frigid water that like a couple days ago was completely iced in. So that makes it all part of the experience. And like, that's the fun of Great Lakes surfing. It's like, yeah, bikini days are epic and like those are few and far between. But, the adventure, I think, is like what makes Great Lakes surfing so epic, is like trudging through knee deep snow to get to the waves, or like, coming out with ice on your face and like wind burned on your cheeks and throwing on Vaseline in preparation, making sure you have your big water jug full of hot water to dump down your suit.
It's never really about like, because it will be super small and you'll go out and you'll go through all of that like pain and agony of getting under that ice cold water. But it's all like, it's just so fun. It all is so worth it because it's just so fun. And it's like, it doesn't matter if you catch that many waves or if, you're only out for like an hour, half an hour. It's just too much of a hoot.